Hi everybody. So I wanted to start a YouTube channel, and the name of my business, and a lot of you guys know me as Liz11. Starting Liz11 Hypnosis, and I do ethereal energy and healing arts. And the reason for starting this channel is there's a lot of topics that I want to bring up and talk about with you guys. So I started a YouTube channel to be able to do that. I do take private readings, and I do have availability, so you can hit me up and I'll post the link in the comments below so you can do that and get a reading from me. And I want to start off by talking about, the show is going to be about a lot of various subjects, a lot of things that, could be considered taboo. We're going to talk about supernatural things, ghosts, aliens, interdimensional beings, fairies, just anything relating to that. With my private readings for people, I do intuitive reading. I wouldn't say that I predict the future by any means, but we do some tarot card reading and intuitive reading, and work with crystals sometimes, and just like higher guides, higher spirits, angels, that kind of thing. So I wanted to get on here and make a video to start out, and everybody has to start somewhere. And I've been doing psychic readings and being intuitive for quite a long time now, probably even the last 20 years, and in the last couple of years it's gotten really intense. So I figured I want to come on and start sharing some information. And one of the first things I really want to talk about today is grounding yourself. And recently I had a friend who had passed away unexpectedly, and that's sort of what's pushing me to do this video and put myself out there and start helping people. Is a lot of things that I had talked about with her were, that you need to ground yourself and be grounded, and a lot of things that we don't realize. So right now, the earth is going through a lot of shifts, and if you're tuning into this, you're probably aware of that. You probably know that the earth is changing. There's a lot of shifts going on. There's a lot of things just happening, and there always has been, but it's becoming more and more apparent to us because we're waking up and we're seeing things for, what they really are now. And before, the veil wasn't as, it was closed off to us and we couldn't really see that. So as the earth shifts, we're becoming more and more aware of our surroundings and how our interactions are with people and the public. And anxiety is, up here. I know my anxiety for a while there was out of control, and I couldn't stay grounded, and I always just felt like I wanted to escape my body. I had a lot of physical pains, which kind of mean when you have a lot of physical pain, it's like you're trying to escape your body, and it's a sign in your body. So you really have to listen to that and listen to that physical pain, because your body's trying to tell you something. So with grounding, even more recently, just a simple thing just to clear your space and clear your energy is just putting your hands together and just rubbing them like this. And you can just feel that energy, that friction in between your hands, and that's just, the chi, and that's just your energy and your aura kind of around you. So, if you're in a tough situation, or you're just need to reground yourself, just, put your hands together, put them like this, rub them together, and you can kind of feel that energy in between your hands. And you can just kind of even close your eyes and just I can feel the energy in between my hands, and it kind of grounds me back into the present moment. And I feel that, for me at least, I can speak from my experience. For me, I'm very high up here, higher in the third eye chakra, way up here. I'm always feeling like I'm about to jump out of my body. I wouldn't say I'm not very grounded, but a lot of times my head's in the clouds, so to speak. So doing these kinds of things helps. And one thing that people don't realize is that when they go out into public, you're exposing your energy out to the world. It's best to before you go out in public, especially if you're an empath or you're a sensitive person, or you take on people's energy, it's best to, as silly as it sounds, you need to close your eyes before you go out, and visualize, whatever your protective bubble is. It can be a white light. White light's always a good one to use. It can be any kind of shape, but as long as you can you don't even have to see it. You just have to, put that out there and put the intention out there, because it's all about the intention. A lot of us can't really visualize things very well, or you're saying, I can't really see what you're talking about, or I can't see white light. You don't have to see it. It's just saying, when I go out, I'm visualizing that this white light is around my body, and it will protect you, and it will protect your aura, because let me tell you that when you go out into public, you are exposing yourself to all kinds of energy, especially when you're in places with people. And that can be the grocery store, is a big one. And I know for me and other friends of mine, that has been a very challenging place to be during COVID. And just in general, like social places. I personally was a very social person before COVID. I traveled all over. I am a musician and I play gigs and I'm interacting. I was an event promoter. And after COVID happened, I couldn't go out places. I couldn't go socialize with people. I couldn't be around people's energy. I would just feel like I was taking everything in. And some of the things that really worked for me is crystals do help. And especially dark black crystals. We're talking tourmaline. Shungite has become a really popular one that I really like, because it's actually mined in Russia. There's only one mine. I can't remember the name of the mine, but it's a very powerful stone. It protects you from EMFs, which is a huge problem right now. Especially you hear all the stuff about 5G, all of that. It's all about, these signals are able to come through your electronics. So, you have to learn in this day and age how to ground yourself and how to be grounded when you're anywhere, even in your home, because the Wi-Fi routers, and it might sound a little like tinfoil hat sort of stuff, but the truth is that these Wi-Fi routers are putting off tons of signal. These signals get fed into your brain, and when you're sleeping, when you're awake in your home, there's constant signals being transferred through electronics on a regular basis. And it's a subliminal thing. It's just things travel through electronics right now. There's even entities. There's all kinds of things that can travel through electronics and mess with you. And it especially when you sleep, you should really turn off your Wi-Fi router, especially if you're very sensitive, because the Wi-Fi router does put off a crazy amount of signal. And that's why you hear a lot of people say, oh, 5G's bad, 5G's bad. It is bad because it does put off all this signal that affects our brain waves. And for me, I can't sleep at night, and I have to be very careful about even the signal from the TV and my phone. So in my house, I have a lot of shungite around. I have a piece of shungite on my phone, so you can put that kind of stuff anywhere. I do have a lot of crystals around my house, and it's just really important to keep yourself grounded with everything that's going on, and just using these techniques, making sure when you do go out in public that you just envision a bubble, whatever that safe bubble is for you. It doesn't really matter if you feel like you can't close your eyes and see it, as long as you have the intention there. Everything's all about intention and belief in a way, but just putting that intention that when I go out, I'm protected and I have this white light around my body, and it will help, because when you go out, you leave your defenses, you leave yourself open, you leave your aura open, you're leaving your energy open for any kind of attacks. You don't know what kind of people or what kind of interactions, even if it's a good person, like you could end up taking on that energy if you're very sensitive or just in any case. So it's really good to know that and to be protected, and definitely suggest like any kind of crystals, any kind of malas to just like, you know, have some kind of protection. Like, no, you don't have to physically spend all this money and buy all these rocks, but you know, these things do help in this day and age, and if you can afford to do that, I definitely recommend it. And just like saging down your house, like you might have to sage down your place when you get, especially when you go out in public and you get home. Like, it's definitely a good practice to have, is to sage down your place. So I just have a lot of people and clients that I'm seeing, and this is a real problem. They're like, why am I taking on all this energy? And, you know, why is this happening to me? And kind of, why do I feel this way? I like don't feel good when I go out. I feel like exhausted and I'm tired and I can't deal with people. And it's like, you know, because you're not protecting yourself. You're not shielding yourself. You're not honestly consciously thinking of like, when I go out, I need to make sure that I protect myself and like have my little bubble that I put around myself. And also, you know, electronics in your house, and just being very cautious of that. These things are, yeah, they're great and we all love using computers and the technology, but we also have to be cautious that there's a lot of signals coming through, and that can affect our brain waves, and that can affect like us physically. So that's my spiel on grounding. I hope that you find that helpful. Right now I am open for readings. I do intuitive readings, kind of like psychic therapy. I have a lot of people who come and see me that have ghost problems or alien abduction, things that are supernatural. I work, you know, with different realms, and I do communicate with people who have crossed over. So if that is something that you're interested in talking to somebody about, I'm available for that. And pricing kind of varies. It really depends on what you're looking for. And yeah, so this is my first video, and I'd really like to connect with more people through YouTube and talk about more topics. If there's something that you want me to talk about, definitely feel free to shoot me a message. I have a page up, and yeah, so I hope you found the grounding helpful, and I will be back on here to do more videos, and the information is below for contacting me for readings. Thanks.